Yo, if you're clicking on this video, you're either a big Horimiya fan like me or looking for some good romance manga to read. Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to the second ever manga suggestion of the manga review series. I'm your host, Shanks or Izumi, whatever you want to call me. Shanks is my real nickname, while Izumi is something I go by online. Well then, let's get started. The manga I'm talking about is none other than Megane, Tokidoki, Yankee-Kun by Naruki. This one is a shoujo manga, not just a romance manga, but it feels like a rom-com because of its writing and art style. It's a delightful romantic comedy that blends heartwarming moments with light humor. Our protagonist is Momose Hiro, a high school girl. The first time I read her name, I misread it as Momose Hori and didn't notice it at all. Turns out, during middle school, she was bullied by Yankees, so she decided to have a complete makeover and start fresh in her new high school. But despite her best efforts, she remains somewhat clumsy and socially awkward, yet she is determined to find her place in her new environment. Our story starts with Momose being called to the staff room by one of the teachers. It turns out that she hasn't joined a club yet, and there's a rule at school that everyone has to join a club. But Momose is someone who has tried many clubs but hasn't found her fit, which leads the teacher to suggest she join the Helpers Club, which only has one member for now, as the others are just ghost members. And the only member of this club is our male protagonist, Ichikura. Is it just me, or does this guy give off the same vibe as Miyamura? Right. Once you read the manga, you'll find some other similarities as well. Momose thinks to herself that if there's only one member, she won't be causing much trouble, so she decides to join the club. But this decision will soon change her life. This manga excels in its character development and the way it gently subverts typical high school romance tropes. The interactions between Momose and Ichikura are heartfelt and often humorous. I really love both of them together. The art style is clean and expressive, and in some panels, you'll get the vibes of a shoujo manga, but it's mostly a rom-com. The story is well-paced, keeping readers engaged without dragging or rushing through important moments. I think this is one of the strengths of this manga. So, will you give this manga a read? I say yes, and after reading it, leave a comment if this manga gave you the same vibes as Horimiya. Now, let's talk about the story without worrying about spoilers. So, if you're someone who doesn't care about spoilers or someone who has already read the manga, you can go ahead and watch this section of the video. Let's start with, what is the Helpers Club? Well, Ichikura explains it as a club that does volunteer work inside the school, basically like what we saw in Origairu. And our boy Ichikura is Mr. Reliable of this club. Momose is kind of relieved that Ichikura is kind and perfect, unlike the Yankees she faced in middle school. While they're both heading home, someone spots Momose and recognizes her. He's one of the Yankees from her previous school, and he quickly pulls out his phone to take a picture so he can show her makeover to others, basically to make fun of her again. But someone saves her from all of this, and it's none other than Ichikura, who pulls the Yankee's arm away before he can take the picture. Surprised by his strength, the Yankee decides to leave. Momose is completely amazed by Ichikura's ability to handle delinquents. But soon, her bubble bursts as Ichikura starts talking to her in the same way a delinquent would. And boom, the reveal of the chapter. Ichikura is a former Yankee. The next day, while taking care of the flowers in the garden, Ichikura reveals that he has some circumstances and is trying to change himself. But he got angry yesterday because Momose wasn't defending herself against that Yankee. She explains her circumstances to him as well, like how she was bullied and how she hates Yankees now. The following day, while she's taking care of the garden by herself because Ichikura has gone somewhere else, the Yankee from her old school shows up with two more guys to get revenge. Since Ichikura isn't there, they start bad-mouthing Momose instead. One of them tries to throw a bucket of water onto the flowers to ruin them, but Momose, remembering the care she put into those flowers, tries to defend them and gets drenched in the process. Ichikura, who was watching all of this from the side, finally shows up, covers Momose with his jacket, and says, "That was epic. You surprised me." Then, he beats the hell out of the three Yankees. Later, while eating ice cream with Ichikura, Momose tells him that she still hates delinquents, but he's the first good delinquent she's met. This marks the end of the first chapter. Yes, this was just the first chapter, and there are so many good moments and scenes yet to come that will make your heart race. For example, when asked by a classmate if Ichikura is good at fighting, Momose replies by saying he's scrawny and would probably die with one punch, and Ichikura's reaction to Momose's words is hilarious. Or how Momose makes him promise her that he won't get into any more fights. And I can't wait for you guys to reach the panel where Ichikura shows up in a Yankee outfit when Momose asks him to come so they can get him some new clothes for a meeting. Or when Momose is asked by her friends about her type at the meeting, and all the qualities she mentions scream Ichikura. How Ichikura keeps his promise that he won't fight anymore, even in dire situations, and how they eventually start dating. There will be a lot of new characters, a lot of jealous moments, and a lot of scenes that will make you want to scream from the sweetness. Overall, this manga is a solid 10 for me. I hope it will score the same for you as well. Do tell me your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this manga review with your friends as well. Keep supporting, and see you all in the next video.